Television Production Workshop Alumni Day.
Woo!
And welcome to our Hall of Fame induction ceremony. But our program's induction into the statewide Hall of Fame is a one-time only event. So we wanted this first TPW Alumni Day to be extra special. We have a handful of people who would like to say a few words, and then we'll move to the studio and the classroom to hang up some new signage. If you haven't already done so, please sign your name on the plaque in the back of the room. That's a piece of plastic that we're going to hang under our big sign in the studio that says we're in the Hall of Fame.
But I have to tell you, as superintendent, you kind of expect that certain programs are going to get an award 1 or 2 times. But this is really amazing to say 9 times out of 10 years. So kudos to everybody and congratulations.
Hey everyone, I'm Talia Somerville and I'm a veteran member of this year's TPW class. Our next speaker is in his 6th year as principal at Orion High School. If anyone is ever looking for an example of an administrator who supports students, this is the person to talk to.
You know, in the course of my almost 30 years in education, I've come across a lot of programs in athletics, programs with yearbooks, programs in English and business and all different departments. And the thing that I've learned is that program success truly is not necessarily about the bricks and mortar of the building, but it's simply about the people that are involved in that program. Those people that are sitting here today and all those people that took part in the past. And I want to tell you, from the bottom of my heart, as a principal, I am so proud of what you've accomplished.
Now we're joined by a member of the school board. Nathan Butkey was elected in 2016 to join the board, and he now serves as a trustee. But he has a more personal connection to TPW. Nate is a graduate of LOHS, and this speaker was one of those students who broke the ground as one of our first newscast anchors. From the TPW class of 1992, please welcome Mr. Nathan Butkey.
This one, I was thinking about the complexion of the TPW classes that Mr. Saunders used to create and that Mr. Smith still does. And at the time, you don't really realize it, or at least I didn't realize it when I was sitting there, that you're getting into this work and you're creating whatever the piece is, and you look around the table and you're like, wow, the group that's here is not the group that I normally might gravitate to just on my own. It's surrounded by people who are brilliant gifts in athletics, brilliant gifts in academics. Maybe they're really introverted and really spend a lot of time in their own heads and their own thoughts, but all of us were mixed together.
The most important thing is to congratulate all of the TPW students for the Hall of Fame, because even though it's the last 10 years, you're built on what came before that. And as I was listening to the other speakers, I thought, good grief, what have I created? At the old high school. We had a small studio. We had some primitive equipment, especially compared to what you have now. But my students impressed me every day. As Mr. Painter talked about what his daughter and her friend created, I saw that every day. When I see you now on my computer and I watch your programs, I am so impressed with what you do. And I was privileged to be the teacher of TPW for the first 16. And now for the next 16, it's been Roger Smith. And Roger, you have now been the father of TPW students as long as I have. So congratulations to you. Congratulations.
Here for our current advisor, who needs no introduction, but wrote himself one anyway. This is known to many of you as maybe Smith Money or Roger. Please welcome Mr. Roger Smith.
I just wrote a brief speech. So great to see all of you. I just kind of was overwhelmed as I walked in from my previous class and to see all of you gather. Speaking of our alumni, when you include the 22 students from this year's class, we've crossed the threshold of 500 people that have taken a class called the Television Production Workshop at LOHS. And I think that's a pretty notable milestone. Now, as for this class, this year's class, you'll be proud to know that they have done an outstanding job of carrying on the traditions that have been set forth by so many of you, like singing the birthday song or waiting for the train whistle and some other things that we've done in recent years. And they continue to have that bar raised set so high.
Yeah.